Well, good God Almighty, there is a lot to wade through. But I do realize some people are coming in new to the situation, and some of the older subscribers get annoyed when I do too much on context. So we're going to go in fairly advanced. I will keep it a little vague just to simplify the information because there's a lot that's been happening. So the basic gist is that Jenna, who is still technically on the board of the foundation, the SPTV Foundation, her image is still there, but presumably she will leave, but who knows? So Aaron is the president of the foundation, and for a while, again, we don't know exactly when they started the relationship. So some people in the comments were a little confused here that he's married. Yes, as far as we know, Aaron is legally married to Heather, his wife. He says they're separated, but as far as we know, he's put no official court documents saying they're separated. You can do that, but I don't know why he doesn't do that, but he says that they're separated. So when did he and Jenna begin the relationship? Don't exactly know when. I would assume 2024. So what is the big deal or problem? Because some people might come in, well, what's the big? This isn't the only incident. In fact, going through it, at least as far as I know, we have like 6 confirmed cases of cheating that we know of. I don't think we can say definitively there are no relationships where he's been faithful to any quote woman, but as far as we know, can't find any. Like we can't find any long-term relationship where he's been faithful to any woman, as far as we know. But maybe we can. So this is definitely a case of him repeatedly doing this. And it's not just quote romantic relationships. There are cases where he's been credibly accused of criminal behavior. Like Mike Rinder has made it official that they did consider some of what he did when he was on the Aftermath Foundation, right? And that's a whole other incident. I put a lot of videos on that. But very briefly, he was on the Aftermath Foundation for a few years, and Aaron claims he's doing a lot of work, a lot of good work. But Mike Rinder says, and he's not denying the good work, but he's saying, yeah, he was committing fraud, which was endangering the charity. So because of these cheating incidents, lying, gaslighting, a lot of abuse, they got rid of him. And Aaron went public about this last year, and that created a major rift in the SPTV community. So where are we now? Well, at last count, and again, to use the big word, this is a social construct. So things are constantly changing. I know I get a lot of flack saying, well, you got this or that wrong. Well, these things keep changing, so apologies. But at this point, as far as I know, he's lost 5,000 subscribers from his channel. One woman on the SPTV Foundation has formally said she's leaving. Again, I'm going to keep it vague. I'm not standing up for these women, by the way. I'm just trying to keep it vague to try to be nice. Another woman says she's neutral. She's also on the SPTV Foundation. There are other people on the SPTV Foundation. As far as I know, they haven't made any. He says that they now do have formal IRA status, that it is a real charity, but I checked again. I'm not seeing its EIN, or they're hiding it, which I don't know why they would do that. Like the Aftermath Foundation is it's right there. You can double check it in 3 seconds. This is their number. You can double check. Yep, it's there. You can Google this fairly easily. But again, good faith. He does have quote, a real charity, at least legally. And even people who are critical of Aaron have said, yes, he has helped people. He has given away money. It's not totally a fraud. And by Aaron's count, he's helped 6 to 12 people in the last year, right, with the SPD Foundation, because right, technically we're in the new year. So for whatever, 10 months of its existence, it's helped 12 people. And there we are. Now, how much help? Is it really substantive? Don't know. Again, there are issues of privacy. So that's the breakdown of the basic numbers. But let me call into question some of the defenses in Aaron's case. I'm not agreeing to it. We're just going through it. And it's very misleading and full of lies. So one woman who was defending Aaron saying, well, let's just concentrate on Jenna. Let's concentrate on Jenna being okay. So the person claims they don't condone cheating and don't think it's good, but that can't be right. And they say, well, nobody's embracing this. Yes, they are. Aaron has had to be forcibly admitting to some of these cases, and when he does, he laughs and cries and shouts and smiles. He's not seemingly broken up about it. He just laughs it off. So no, he does embrace it. And this person's still formally on the board. So she does condone it. So I don't know what she's talking about. So she's saying she's neutral, but No, she's not a troll. She's been helped by Aaron. She's making money with Aaron. Aaron has been on her channel. So she's saying, well, I just stand with Jenna. And Jenna's my friend. Well, again, Jenna's charging that Aaron was abusive in her video. So, not clear what she's saying. It's just very, very confusing. And then we get to another ex-board member. So she's saying she's leaving. And she does admit, saying, yes, what Aaron is doing is wrong. She's not going to be on the board, but she's not going to denounce him. And she will, in fact, never denounce him. But why not? And this woman, by the way, is complaining that her husband was very abusive and cheating on her, even though she was caught red-handed cheating on him. So, yeah, it's just very confusing, very misleading, a lot of misrepresentations. But let me name one person who was really outrageously lying, which is Marilyn Honig. Now, Marilyn is not an ex-Scientologist. She was never in the Scientology cult. Now, she has been through some victimization through a cult. Don't deny that. However, her participation in this community is very strange. And she used to be a big supporter of the Aftermath Foundation. So, yeah, it's a lot of flip-flopping with her. So anyway, she's careful to say she does think Aaron did something wrong. They talked over the phone. She made it clear she doesn't think what he did was right. But that, and she was saying a lot of crazy, outrageous things. And her defense of Aaron was pretty wild and crazy. And as far as I could make out, because I could only suffer about 10 minutes before I'm like, this is enough. This is just, and by the way, this woman has empirically been lying about me, slandering me, and she's been notified about this. She keeps, why she's doing this, I don't know, talking about my dead mother. Okay, don't know why. Anywho, her defense is, well, she's friends with Aaron. Aaron has never been abusive to her. Ergo, he's a good guy. Don't know how that works. Also, she's not really friends with Jenna in any major way. Therefore, can't say that really Aaron's a bad guy because she doesn't know Jenna too well. She does believe Jenna. She's not disputing what she's saying is true. So she's taking for granted Jenna is telling the truth. So Aaron is abusive to other women, but he's never yelled at her. Ergo, he's not such a bad guy. And by the way, I liked in her video, she said, well, people are probably going to clip this when I said he's not a bad guy. Correct, because you sound like crazy. That's just a crazy statement to make. We have overwhelming evidence he's not a good person. He's not a nice person. The fact that he's nice to you, treats you good, that's not relevant. If somebody is like really horrible to 99 people, but he's occasionally nice to one person, most would say, well, yeah, that's a pretty horrible person. The fact that they're occasionally nice and kind to one person, who, by the way, they have a self-interested relationship in, because she does a lot of propaganda for him. She's literally been a moderator on his channel, deleting comments, censoring people, just doing a lot of echo chamber. Right. Why wouldn't he be nice to you? You're doing propaganda for him. So it's just a big, big morass at this point. And I'm just getting to the basics. When we get more into details, it's going to become more horrifying and more crazy. So at this point, which I've been saying for months and months, the SPTV Foundation is not very trustworthy. Aaron is not very trustworthy. Again, he is the formal president. He's the formal president. As far as I know, he's put out no formal statement to explain this behavior. So it's all very iffy. And by the way, they do technically have a lawyer on the board. I don't think that's their legal representation. So right away, there's just a lot of red flags. It doesn't seem like a serious charity. It doesn't seem to have the structure of a serious charity. It has the bare minimum. Like, they have votes, they have meetings, but it doesn't seem like a real charity. It's not just these cheating incidents. People keep saying, no, again, whether this is criminal behavior, maybe, maybe not, but this is definitely very iffy behavior all around. So my own point of view at this point is Aaron has just not done anything to suggest he should be supported directly financially at all through his channel. And definitely the SPTV Foundation has not been transparent. So, and they've lost many people. I've lost count, like 4 to 5 people, and the board of the composition keeps changing. So it's all very problematic, all very problematic. And at this point, I don't think Aaron has put out a video. Now, maybe when this video is published, he will. But as of this recording, no official statement. He hasn't even been on any of the channels. And it seems like even people who are, quote, defending him, their stance is, well, we're just taking a neutral stance, right? Like Poe and the Go put out a video where he says, well, I'm just trying to stay neutral in all this. I really don't know what's happening with them. It's like, what do you mean you don't know? She's put out the video. There's been tons of evidence. I don't understand. So it is just very strange at this moment. So a lot of people are allegedly taking a neutral stance, but they're not. Like, they're still on the board. They're still trying to make money with Aaron. They're still getting his support. So it's just a lot of misrepresentations. So whether you like Jenna or don't like Jenna, I do believe her. I do think she's the victim of abuse. However, two things can be true: that Aaron is acting like a very ugly, abusive cult leader, but Jenna's not much better. She was there when he was doing a lot of this stuff. So she has been victimized, but her complicity is also there too. So it's very, very tricky. But I do agree we should support her. But there are definitely times to be questioning her own behavior. So where I would stand at this point is I support Lindsay 100%. But with Jenna, I'm more like I support her 75%. But I do, going back to that video, it is heartbreaking in certain moments, and we'll get into that. But this is the basic lay of the land in terms of the aftermath of this latest scandal, because I've lost count how many scandals Aaron has had. I mean, I think like 20. If you count them collectively, it's like 20 scandals. So yeah, this is not the first. I don't think this is going to be the last either. I think there's going to be more stuff coming out too. I'm guessing this is just the tip of the iceberg. And uh, just on a final note, he's been trying to get rid of this channel and a few other channels. And I think because it's really aggressive lately, so I'm like wondering why is he doing that. So I'm guessing there's a lot more that's coming out. And he's just really trying to get rid of any channels or anyone that's going to be reporting the truth. Frankly, he's really just trying to lock down and create this massive echo chamber. Because I'm guessing a lot more is going to come out. He doesn't really have good answers to this, so it just looks really horrifying. And he doesn't have a really good story, so he's just trying to, as usual, ride out the storm. But I don't know if it's going to work this time. Looks like this time, yeah, he's going to have to really confront some difficult questions. Whether he will really do that, only time will tell. And there we are. Be well. Thanks for listening.